I'm here for a reason. I believe all that stuff that happened to me yesterday and last night was something, someone, or whatever, trying to keep me from being here to tell this. And so I just want you to hear me out just for a few minutes. When I was a kid, I dealt with what they call now attention deficit disorder. Back then they just called it ignorant. Stupid. And the one that really hurt more than anything was you'll never amount to anything. I heard it. And it still rings in my ears sometimes. Especially when something comes my way that's like I have to do, that's a big deal or whatever. Can I do this? Well, I was told I couldn't by people that loved me. And I loved. Well, here's the deal, and I'm going to try to do this quickly. When I was a kid dealing with this, I was also traveling and singing with my family. We had a Christian group, and we would sing every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes we even sang 3 times on Sunday. I don't know how we did it, but we did. Most of the time it was 2 times on Sunday. And so, as I was working on my relationship with Christ, and I was trying to read the Word, and I was trying to pray, my mind would wander every time I would try to read. See, I never read a book in my life during high school. Not one book. I was supposed to read Huckleberry Finn. Is that the name of it? And I drove an hour and a half to get the Cliff Notes so I wouldn't have to read it. Because I knew that there was no way I would be able to read it, pay attention, and do it. And see, that was the thing to where I was told that you're not applying yourself and all this. And I would try so hard. My grades were bad, but I could not figure it out. Why can't I remember? Why can't I read without my mind wandering? So, you know, it's interesting, not to get off subject, but I have y'all are going to have to help me get back to where I was. It's interesting that I've never read, I tell people I've never read a book, but I wrote one. And I did, I wrote a book. My whole story is in a book. Of course, someone was with me, helped me write it. I just basically told my story. Sweet lady wrote it down for me. Where was I? No, I'm kidding. So trying to read the Word was hard for me. So I started thinking one day, I'm out singing every weekend, and I'm singing gospel music, and we're seeing souls saved, and even back then we would count and just praise God for the souls that were being saved. And I started thinking, Lord, I'm singing every weekend and I'm telling your story and all this. That should be enough. So I just didn't. I quit trying to read and I'd pray every once in a while for my dinner, lunch, and breakfast. Some of you may have, like my grandfather used to have a prayer for every meal. The same one. I never understood what he was saying. But he'd started out way up here. Oh Lord, make us true thankful these don't rest pressing. I'm sure there was an amen back down in there, but I didn't know. I just didn't want to do that. I'd catch myself sometimes. Oh Lord, make us true thankful. And I'd rather than do that, I'd rather not even do it at all. It's like God saying, you know what? If you have to read it, memorize it. Well, I grow up, and needless to say, I didn't go to college. My grandfather was a barber, so I went to cosmetology school. Wasn't much reading, just a lot of cutting. And one day I had to do somebody's nails, and I said, I'm out of here. Because I knew what was next was going to be somebody's feet, and I don't like feet. So I get a call while I'm in school there, and I go to sing for a living, and I sing and I continue singing. Things are going great in my career, and you know, see, I dealt with a lot of stuff growing up. I don't have time to go into it. I hope and pray some of you will take the book home, because I just can't go into a long testimony here tonight. But I'm telling you, just the things that I dealt with as a kid with molestation, even in the gospel group that I was in. And my father I loved my father, but he was so hard on me. We just clashed so much. You know, he's one of those kind of fathers where if you hit a home run, you knew that you had it then. He's going to have to say, I'm proud of you now. You know, and you come in and he goes, you're trying to kill it, aren't you? You don't need to hit home runs. All we need is base hits. I'm like, wow. That was just kind of the way it was. Now, my father and I have the best relationship two people could have. God has healed our relationship, and I'm telling you, I would trade it for nothing in this world. We've both sat down in front of each other and cried and said, I'm sorry. Man, the power in those two words, I'm sorry. It's amazing. It's amazing. I had to say that so many times to God. How many know that we're blessed to serve a God of second chances? It's not like we can abuse grace. It's not like we're going out, setting out to do that. That's not what it's about. It's just, it's there, man, because we are not a perfect people. So I get a call from the Gaithers, and that's when things started taking off. My career, get married, have a little baby girl, her name's Megan, and things started getting a little crazier as I was going. I developed, a panic disorder because I just was like, so much stuff was going on when I started getting this solo opportunity. I never wanted to sing solo. All I wanted to do was be in a quartet. Being on stage by myself with no one else around me didn't interest me at all. It was just something I didn't want to do. And when I got that opportunity, I turned it down 2 or 3 times, and then I thought, well, you know what? I'm passing up something here. I took it. And then when I started dealing with that, man, it was something else. Crowds, people around me, not being able to breathe. Just this body, man, is not built for this situation. It's not built for this kind of career. Crowds, people around you, asking for this and that and things. That's great. That's a great lifestyle for a lot of people, but just the way this body's built, the panic and the claustrophobia and you have to fly to get somewhere and with United. Yes, I just snorted. So I kept going, and I kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I started winning all these awards with this solo project and these #1 songs. Sales were going off the roof. I'm telling you, it was crazy. I was being booked for all this money. I'm like, I'll never amount to anything. I know that. This is all a fluke. If it was happening now, I would say, am I being punked? I mean, that's just kind of the way I felt. And so I got so messed up, and I was like, you know what? I need out. I can't do this anymore. I am not equipped for this. So I went to management.